Namaste and hello. This is your Sanskrit instructor welcoming you back into lesson number 152. Earlier in this course, we have learned about Sandhi rules. We have learned about rules for conjugating a verb. We have learned about rules for declining a noun. And now we're going to learn about more and more rules. These rules, these Sandhi rules, are going to involve consonants. So, no Sanskrit word, essentially, for the general principles of consonant sandhi is that no Sanskrit word can ever end up with more than one consonant. So, a final compound consonant must be reduced to its first member. So, for example, we have this word maruts, right? This is two consonants that are here together. Now, according to the rule, it shouldn't end with more than one consonant. So that's why maruts gets reduced to marut. Now, take a look back at what it says. It says a final compound consonant must be reduced to its first member. Now, what does that mean? This all goes back to, remember when we did a whole table and we spent a lot of time trying to understand the table of consonants? We're going all the way back to that table, which is the foundation of everything that we have been learning about in Sanskrit. So back to the foundation. It must be reduced to its first member. So what does that mean? The first member, it must be reduced to its first member. This first column here is the first member of the consonants. So as you can see here in the example, maruts is in the same category as the first member for sa is ta. So that's why sa got reduced to just having the sa. So maruts became marut. So any other word, any other letter in a word that where there's more than one consonant will be reduced to one of these letters. So there's always an exception to the rule. An exception is made for a final double consonant, the first member of which is ra, and the second member, a consonant which is not a termination. So a half ra is usually, or a ra with a halant is usually represented by this hook here, or sometimes you could see this. So that is the first member. And so that's the exception, that this could change to this doesn't have to change except the last consonant. And there's a rule in which this consonant ja in urj is going to become urk, and you're going to see why in the next rule. But there is an exception where there is a double consonant. Even though you're ending up with urk, you still end up with the ra and the ka. We're going to take a look as to why it was reduced to ka in the first place. So, a Sanskrit word generally, and a Sanskrit word is considered a verb with its termination or a nominal stem with its case ending, can end only with one of the 8 following consonants. So it should only end with these consonants, any Sanskrit word. Akka, arta, atta, appa, nga, na, ma, or a visarg. All other final consonants must be reduced to one of these 8. So every word has to end with at least one of these. if it must end with a consonant. So we're going to look at the examples. We're going to look at the rules. So ha and the palatals are reduced to ka or ta. So vach, for example, cha is a palatal. It could be reduced to vak. And smaraj can be reduced to ta. To smarat. Smarat. So smaraj is also a palatal. So ha and palatals are reduced to ka or ta. So the palatals are cha, cha, ja, cha, nya, ya, and sha, ya and sha. So that would have to be reduced again to either ka or ta. So palatals would become either of these. Okay? And now the cerebrals are reduced to ta. So papash becomes pavrish becomes pavrit. So this is the cerebral, and it gets reduced to its first member. So any one of these cerebrals here that you're seeing in this row, they would all get reduced to ta. Dentals are reduced to ta. So all dentals are reduced to ta. So for example, sahrid becomes suhrid becomes suhrit. This is a dental, and it gets reduced to its first member, which is ta in suhrit. As you can see in the table, da is a soft non-aspirate, and then for the dentals, and then it gets reduced to ta. So any one of these dentals in this row would get reduced to ta. Then we have labials are reduced to ba. So kukub becomes kukup. So bha is a soft labial, and then it gets reduced to its first member, ba, pa, ba, bha, ma. And I'll show you it here, the labials. So ba, pa, ba, bha, ma, and va is also considered to be a labial. So any of these, pa, ba, bha, ma, and va, would get reduced to ba, which is the first member again. And then finally, we have the sibilants sa and hafra are reduced to the visarg. And we learned about this consonant rule already. So kavis becomes kavihi, and pitar becomes pitaha. So sa and ra are reduced to visarg when it comes at the end. But back to this first one. So urj, you see that's the first member. In this exception, in this rule, sa and ra, they are the last member of that word. They're the last consonant of that word. So again, because the ja is a palatal, remember the rule is that the palatals are going to be reduced to ka or ta. So urj here is being reduced to urk because it could become a ta. So these are the exceptions and rules, and we have more rules coming up. This is the base of the general principles of the consonant Sandhi. And with this is your Sanskrit instructor signing off with a namaste.